Oh, hello. This is Ryan.
And this is Mike.
We are from Mana Bluff, and we are on to our red set review for M14. We'll start with commons and uncommons, and then jump into rares and mythic rares afterwards.
Most definitely.
Our very first red common is the Academy Raider. 2 and a red for a 1/1 human warrior. Wow, this better do something way cooler than just that.
Yeah.
It has Intimidate. Not that cool. So let's hope for something more. What else does it say? Whenever Academy Raider deals combat damage to a player, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. So it rummages, basically.
Yeah.
I do not want this at 3, period.
No, never.
Over, never play it.
We're never, you shouldn't play it either.
Yeah.
Our next card is Active Treason.
Oh.
Yay. 2 and a red for a sorcery at common. Gain control of target creature until end of turn, and tap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. Active Treason.
Yeah.
If your deck wants this type of effect, your deck really wants this type of effect.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, then it definitely doesn't. It's red, so I'm expecting it to be somewhat more aggressive.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that red-black, we get some super aggressive deck. That's going to be pretty sweet. That deck is going to want the Active Treason effect. If not, then, well, you don't really want it.
If you're aggro, you want this. If you're not, you don't. So you'll get it when you want it.
Alternatively, red-black with all those sack effects, this is going to be pretty sweet.
And we already saw 3 solid creatures with sacrifice outlets to creatures. As I was mentioning, is relevant. This combo with Active Treason, black-red is already a great combination. Definitely something to pay attention to.
That makes me excited. Even though this kind of combination always happens, that's exciting.
Keep in mind, one of the sack outlets cost mana, so it'd be really expensive to do 3+3 to do it. But there was that the 3-drop 2/2 that you sacrifice a creature, you get +2/+2 on that little barn.
Yeah, you don't even use it. Or it's the one in black. 1 in a black, so it would cost 5.
Yeah, so that's not even that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, this should be good. Barrage of Expendables is something I'm really interested in. It's costs a red uncommon enchantment. And this enchantment has the ability that when you pay red and sacrifice a creature, Barrage of Expendables deals 1 damage to target creature or player. In red, I feel like you want that reach. You go aggro, and then you have these little dinky guys, and you just like finish off by throwing them all to the face, right? Or taking 2 creatures to deal, finish off another one or something. I think it's going to be relevant. I'm just really worried that it's an enchantment. It's cheap enough to where I'm not scared about it, but it is taking up a card.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to evaluate this card.
I think it's pretty cool. If I open it, and I mean maybe not first pick, like 4th.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm gonna try it. I think there's a potential for it to be pretty cool. Plus, once again, yet another sack outlet. I think much like we were discussing before, those will probably be best in black-red.
Yeah.
Where you can take full advantage of those kind of things of in black of creatures dying. Active Treason, Barrage of Expendables. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I mean, hey, I'd be stoked to have 2 Barrage of Expendables. I'm changing the pronunciation now.
Yeah.
And 2 Active Treasons. I mean, in a deck that's all in red, and you're probably gonna get the combo on soon enough. It only costs 4 mana to get some sweet action. But I think it's gonna do a lot. I think it's gonna work out.
Yeah. We have seen a lot of X1s.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a high pick. And as an uncommon red card, I don't know how often you're going to see it, so if you don't pick it highly, if you're going to be able to grab it when it comes around. But what I know is that, like you, I want to try it. Yeah. I'm going to be picking it highly early on in the format just to see what the hell goes down.
Yeah, because I think, if nothing else, it seems like it might be kind of fun. Fun in the sense where there's the potential for it to win, not fun in the sense of, like, Archaeomancer a divination.
Yeah.
Well, even though that's really fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. Our next card is we're in the sliver colors, it is a sliver. We've got the battle sliver. Already sounds pretty sweet. It's 4 and a red. It's uncommon, so it's a 5-drop sliver. It's a 3/3 sliver. That's already pretty cool. But guess what? It's not quite a 3/3 sliver. It's sliver creatures you control get +2/+0. It is a 5/3 sliver for 5.
All right.
Already at uncommon, I would play that in my red deck. I would play a 5/3 for 5.
Yeah.
But we're in these sliver colors. That's pretty sweet.
I think it's good in red, but not insane if you're not the sliver deck, but definitely playable.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not going to be picking it highly, per se, as a 5-drop.
Exactly.
So it's definitely going to get to the sliver deck that wants it, for the most part. But even then, I'm not going to be bummed if I take this a little earlier thinking I'm going slivers, and then it gets cut. I'm not in the sliver colors. I end up moving into black or blue instead. I'm still going to be perfectly fine playing this at 5.
Yep.
So good card. awesome in the sliver deck, because of course getting all your slivers +2/+0 is insane.
Yeah, that's...
so this is going to be one of the premier sliver uncommons for that deck.
Exactly.
There's already, right away, there's the next sliver, which is Blur Sliver. 2 in a red for a 2/2. And sliver creatures you control have haste. So 2/2 haster is very good by itself.
2/2 haste for 3 is awesome.
So that's awesome and giving the slivers that. This is going to kind of fall prey to the white sliver that's a 2/2 vigilance for 2, where a black or a red deck's going to want this anyway, so the sliver deck may not get it, but of course it goes infinitely up in value in the sliver deck.
I think the white sliver, the white common sliver is better than this one.
Oh, totally agree, because it's a 2/2. I mean, it's a bear, 2/2 for 2.
Yeah.
Plus vigilance.
So vigilance works over the course of the game, whereas haste, who cares?
Yeah. So
I'm saying, of course, in the non-sliver deck.
Yeah. But still, solid 3-drop in red, awesome in the sliver deck.
Yeah.
But I really think this is now that we have one common and uncommon sliver in red that is much better in red than it is in much better in the sliver deck than it is in red, which means right away I'm thinking I think red is going to be a base sliver color versus, again, white, that uncommon not being, or that common being good in any white deck.
Exactly.
Not good in sliver, you could get it cut too hard.
Yep.
This you might start seeing the slivers. We want to keep an eye on the rest of these in red.
And I guess if you can make a trend out of 2 data points, then we've just done that. But our next card is not a sliver. We've got the Canyon Minotaur. We've seen our Canyon Minotaur before. It's a common. Yeah. It's a 3/3 for 3 in a red.
Yep. That's just
completely serviceable creature. I love it. In fact, it's actually pretty decent. Like these kind of a 3/3 for 4 is going to be actually kind of sweet.
You're not picking it high, but you're not passing it late. It's just a solid creature.
If you want those kind of cards, you're going to need them.
I am much more excited though by our next card. It's a common instant for 2 red. You might have heard of it before. It's Chandra's Outrage, a great removal spell. Chandra's Outrage deals 4 damage to target creature and 2 damage to target that creature's controller. So that's really nice. As an instant for red, it's a nice burn spell to get rid of a creature, and it does an incidental 2 to that creature's controller. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And red's going to get it because it's double red.
Yep.
It's a premier removal spell.
And at common, you might be able to get a couple.
Yeah, generally. Surprisingly, these went really late last time I was in the core set. I was so surprised. Not that it was like super late, last in the pack, but I was really surprised to see these 4th, 5th, 6th picks.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And 4 is, we already know 4 is getting up there in terms of toughness. This will be able to take care of our...
And 4 isn't 6 when it comes to casting cost.
Oh,
so we saw that in the black removal. So this is much easier to cast.
Plus it's instant compared to all the other black removal spells.
So this is a great removal spell.
Yeah. Not a removal spell, but kind of cool, is the Cyclops Tyrant. I don't know if it's cool. I'm just going to try and continue the trend.
Cyclops.
Because Cyclopses are pretty sweet. It's 5 and a black. 5 and a black. I don't know where that came from, considering we're doing red. It's 5 and a red for a 3/4, which is not all that exciting.
Underpowered.
Yeah, it's common, so we can see it. It's got Intimidate, so alright, pretty sweet. Pseudo Evasion. Cyclops Tyrant can't block creatures with power 2 or less. This is a horrible 6-drop. I don't want a drawback on a 6 mana cost 3/4 with Intimidate. Intimidate does have a little bit of evasion, but it's not guaranteed. It's not awesome. 3/4 is big, but at 6 in red, this card's terrible. Actually, don't ever play it.
I think you're gonna play it if you just don't have any 6-drops, but you're not. I mean, you're like, gosh, my 6-drop's horrible. I want a powerful card.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you're opening a rare. Next card we have is Demolish, 3 in a red for a sorcery. Destroy target artifact or land. This is a sideboard card. Sorcery speed is horrible at that casting cost, but sometimes you just need a way to get it done. You're not playing it for just its own land destruction ability. That's not worth a card on its own.
Yeah.
But if there's
unless you're playing against a really greedy opponent.
Yeah, if you're playing someone really greedy who's playing 4 or 5 colors, or like a solid 3-color deck in this format where there's not a lot of fixing, then yeah, you might slide it in.
Yeah.
Mostly it's probably going to be for the artifact removal. But I'm going to bet in red there's going to be a more efficient artifact removal spell. Generally there is. Something like a Vandalism that's a 1 red.
Yep. Maybe even attached to a creature.
So they do that
sometimes.
Yeah, that happens, yeah.
Next card we've got, it's an uncommon. It's Dragon Egg. Interestingly enough, its creature type is dragon, even though it's an egg.
Interesting.
Yes. It's 2 in a red for a 0/2, so hopefully it does something else, because that kind of sucks.
That would be horrible.
It's a defender, so
more horrible.
So kind of sucks. When Dragon Egg dies, put a 2/2 red dragon creature token with flying onto the battlefield. It has fire breathing, so it has one red, not one and a red, just red. Target this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn.
Cool.
That's actually kind of sweet.
That's actually pretty good. It's not insane. It's not amazing because you still have to at some point chump block something, save some damage, and then develop your board instead of right away getting. Yeah. I mean, this would be an awesome card if it was for 3 mana. You get a 2/2 flying dragger with fire breathing.
Yeah.
And it's still uncommon, so you're not seeing that often.
No, this card is actually I really like this card because even if you get a 2/2 flyer with fire breathing at quote unquote 4, because when you would get it, because assuming you block with it. On turn, you block with it when they attack, and then your next turn you get it.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
It's fine. My thing is, don't look for this in your aggressive deck because on turn 3 you want a hard hitting.
You want the hasty sliver,
something like that. Whereas this is going to be in a different type of deck. Not bad by any means. I'm definitely playing it, but you just want to make sure that you're not tricking yourself into having. In essence, a do-nothing 3-drop in an aggressive deck. It definitely gets there bigger, and it's definitely worth the work it is to get that card out. And it saves you a little life and all that stuff, so it's fine.
Yeah. And speaking of dragons, our next card.
The Dragon Hatchling. We've seen this guy before. It's a 1 red dragon. It's an 0/1 stat, which is not exciting, but as predictable with the dragon, it has flying and it has fire breathing, which is pay a red, Dragon Hatchling gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You can pump it up. You don't really want a lot of these in your deck. Again, if you're being aggressive, it takes a while for you to use all this mana, but it's a good sink, and it's fine. It's just, it's not your premier 2-drop.
No.
But you're almost always playing 1, maybe 2 of these in a red deck that you have going.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
What you're going to play multiples of regardless is Flames of the Firebrand.
Yeah.
It's a sorcery speed uncommon. It's 2 in a red, but Flames of the Firebrand, it deals 3 damage to target creature or player, but you get to choose among 1, 2, or 3 target creatures and or players.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. This is top tier premium removal spell. Despite being a sorcery non instant, doesn't matter. And on top of it, it has such it's splashable, so you can pick it up whenever you want and get your splash on. And it's just so versatile. Takes out, a 3-power dude, finishes off someone with some burn, or if you're super lucky, you can, set up blocks or do attacks and get someone a 2-for-1, or miraculously a 3-for-1, or get, a 2-power creature done and do an incidental 1 point of damage to a player. Versatility is amazing.
I mean, against potentially even the black deck, this is a 3-for-1.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Although ideally you're black-red and just beating down with removal.
Exactly. Speaking of beating down, wow, we've had a lot of those kind of interactions. Yeah. We got the Flesh Pulper Giant. 5 red. So we've got a 7-drop in red. It's a 4/4, so not particularly exciting for 7. It's a gianted uncommon. But when Flesh Pulper Giant enters the battlefield, you may destroy target creature with toughness 2 or less. So, a 2-for-1, it's not particularly exciting because it's toughness 2 or less.
I don't want this card. Here's why. It's a 7-drop. What I want a 7-drop to do is just be a bomb that destroys, takes over the game.
Yeah.
This doesn't do that. Now, don't get me wrong, a 4/4 is perfectly fine stats, but you get that at way cheaper mana cost. And yeah, it can take out a 2 toughness dude, but by that point, you've pretty much outclassed the 2 toughness guys anyway.
Yeah.
If you're at 7 mana, it's probably not a whole lot going on. Maybe you get rid of a flyer or something. But I don't want this as my 7-drop. It's just too... It does too little for that much of a cost.
Too little, too late.
Exactly.
I'm
wholly in agreement. Deck, and it might be sideboarded in at some point, but I'm not picking this highly, and you're going to see this uncommon going very late. However, here we have, on the opposite spectrum of creatures, a premium 2 mana casting cost card. Yeah. Here we have Goblin Shortcutter, which is 1 in a red for a 2/1. already super playable. But it even has this Goblin Scout creature has an upside here. When Goblin Shortcutter enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn.
Nice.
Boom, tempo swing.
Yeah. Relevant in the early game, relevant in the late game.
Exactly. It's what you want. In an aggressive deck, or just, I mean, any deck, but aggressive is particularly amazing. But in any deck, it just gets you going. I love this 2-drop.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing. Sweet. Yeah, it's great. You want it as a 2-drop, or you can, I could honestly see playing. Yeah. This is the kind of thing you especially want in your aggressive deck, because the problem with aggressive decks is sometimes your crappy 2-drops get outclassed.
Yeah.
But this time, they won't.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily first picking this unless it's a really big pack, but I want as many of these if I'm going red as I possibly can pick up.
Yep. Speaking of maybe not wanting as many of
yeah, not so many
as possible, but nonetheless, I still want at least one. I think
it's arguable, but yeah, tell us what the card is.
Lava Axe.
Oh, we got this guy.
4 and a red, a sorcery at common, 5 damage to target player. Oh, it's target player. Why did I think it was target creature or player? Why did I think it was a removable spell?
Yeah.
No, never mind. It's not quite as cool.
No. It's nice burn to the face, and you're gonna get some free wins out of this card because people are gonna forget about it, or they're just not gonna know you have it in the deck. But that's the thing; it needs to be in a deck that wants it. You're probably aggressive, and you're finishing them off with this.
I mean, the aggressive deck needs this kind of thing.
Or it's your 23rd playable in a red deck, where you're just like, all right, well, I'm just gonna do some damage.
Yeah.
It's good, but there are generally more relevant 5 mana casting cost spells you can get on.
Spoiler alert, we're going to be
getting
to shortly.
We're going to see soon. Don't spoil it, but we'll get there. But still, I mean, it's not the worst thing to have a Lava Axe in your deck, but it may not be what you want if you're going the controlling route in some sort of build.
Yeah.
Because that's not what you're doing. It's just a one of spell.
Now, this next card.
Ooh, I think this is interesting. I think it's one of the enchantments I'm going to enjoy. It's Lightning Talons, 2 and a red, enchantment aura, common. That's enchant creature does. Enchant creature gets +3/+0, and has first strike. So again, back to relevancy. It's not as much as I enjoy Mark of the Vampire, that black one, which had a life swing upside, but being able to put +3 power on a creature.
And
which we only saw in the black enchantment that was +3/+1.
Yeah.
And lose a life.
Your Dark Favor.
Dark Favor. But this guy also gets first strike. So not only are you doing a huge hit, you're also threatening evasion and removal against some potential blocker, so you can get that last bit in. But it has that enchantment issue of being a 2-for-1 with removal, but played well, it gets you there.
Yeah.
I like it. It's better than the white enchantments, and it's better. I think the only thing better in the auras that we've seen was that Mark of the Vampire.
Yep, that's true. Well, and pacifism.
Oh, well, no, not
I know.
But yeah, pacifism, claustrophobia, I would definitely have over those.
Yes. And speaking of, in terms of somewhat decent red creatures, we've got the Marauding Maulhorn. I kind of like that. Its name is kind of silly, and its art is kind of dumb, so that kind of puts me as off-putting a little bit, considering I like cool art. But it's 2 red for a common. Mm-hmm. It's a 5/3.
What? There's got to be a drop.
I know, that is too good. But so when Marauding Maulhorn attacks each combat, Marauding Maulhorn attacks each combat if able, unless you control a creature named Advocate of the Beast.
Interesting.
I guess there's going to be a creature named
I'm going to help that out, just so we can talk about it in full. But yeah, Advocate of the Beast is a green card. I won't go into details of what it is yet, but it is a green card. So if you're playing green-red and you have the Advocate of the Beast, then this will be good. And it is a common or uncommon, so you're going to see it. It's not a rare, like the Newt was with a rare combo. Yeah. So this helps you go red-green. Here's the thing, though. This card, you're going to play anyway, because 5/3 for 4 is insane, and if it's attacking each turn, you don't care. You're bashing in early before other people.
Yeah, exactly. You have the 5 power before they have, it's going to trade with whatever.
Could be a 3 power dude that's up trading with it, but even then, you're fine with that, because if you turn this, if you've got this on turn, you're beating down earlier.
Oh, yeah. That's what you want to be doing.
If you happen to be red-green and you have Advocate of the Beast, this card's insane.
Yep.
And I don't think it's going to be that hard to get to. But let's remember this for when we get to Advocate of the Beast.
Most definitely.
It's even better. Next card we have is a Molten Birth. This is an uncommon sorcery that's very interesting. It's 1 red for the sorcery, and when you cast it, you put 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens on the battlefield. Now there's more, but if we just stop there for a second, that's a little underwhelming. You're paying 3 for 2 1/1s, right? We saw the Sliver version do this a little bit better. because slivers mattered more,
yeah, exactly.
and it was 2 and a white instead of a double white for it, so it wasn't as hard to cast. And even then, it was kind of meh if you weren't slivers, because you're paying 3 for 2 power 2 toughness. We're used to more with a bear.
Yep.
However, the Molten Birth has more after that, so after you put 2 on 1 red elemental creature tokens on the battlefield, you then flip a coin. If you win the flip, return Molten Birth to its owner's hand. So potentially you are able to recur this card and get more value out of it. However, because it's random and it's not that relevant, you're not really hoping to play this card.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily worth the card.
I don't think so either.
If for whatever reason elementals are a thing, then it might be something we revisit.
But I've not seen, and I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What is relevant?
Oh my gosh!
Speaking of our spoiler alert about 4 or 5 cards ago, Pitchburn Devils. Woo! Another Innistrad block carryover. 4 in a red for a 3/3 normally, kind of meh. It's a common though, which you'll see it a lot. But when it dies, it being Pitchburn Devils, 3 damage target creature or player.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
very good. So this is gonna up trade with anything that it's blocking.
Anything and everything. Or, you know what, you just attack in, and it just makes blocks really uncomfortable for your opponent.
Oh, yeah, that means you're either trading with a bigger dude, or you're 2 for 1 of them.
Yeah,
right away.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pitchburn Devils rocks. It's a great 5-drop.
Oh, yeah, I love it. I'd play it. Granted, in your red deck, this red deck, it could go in the aggressive red deck as, like, the curve topper. Yeah. But even in the not necessarily aggressive, like, I play multiples, because they're Pitchburn Devils sweet, and you'll probably be able to see them.
Yeah. The next creature we have is a common creature. It's called Regathon Firecat, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's 2 and a red for a 4/1. It's vanilla. That's it. Now this card makes me start wanting to think I really want to go aggro red. We're starting to see a lot of power and coming out of red, which is natural what you see, but across the curve.
Yeah.
Across the curve, you're seeing a lot. That 3. We had the 4-drop with that. Mauler or whatever it's called at 5/3 at 4. We just passed up those Pitchburn Devils, which is in essence, able to trade up with 6 and just doing a lot of great things for 3, 4, 5 drops. And if Regathon Firecat, it's not amazing, but in that aggressive red deck, it's just going to be up trading and putting a lot of pressure super early.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want it, and you want it for more so the trading up. I'm somewhat a little bit more down on this card. I prefer a 3/1 with haste.
Now, see, I'm all about this forward. Here's what you do: you get a 2-drop online, you get this guy down. Turn 4, you're in red. You remove whatever their card is that they play, and you're bashing for a lot. If this connects once, you're happy. If you need to, I mean, you can have it up trade with something later if you just get it down. And with the removal and the burn you have, I think you're going to be able to engineer a board state where that 4, I mean, it's just, you're going to get wins out of this by this connecting twice. Doing 8 damage out of this 1/3 drop is going to be insane.
Yeah. What you're not going to be connecting twice with is a Seismic Stomp.
Gosh.
Yeah, 1 in a red for a common sorcery. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. Nah, don't even play it.
Yeah, Seismic Stomp does not matter. Again, back in aggro land, when you're doing this, it's a falter effect to where you can get that last bit in. But this is a sideboard card. This is, if I'm seeing someone has really great 2/4s on the ground and I'm not able to bash through them easily, I'll bring this in. But I'm hoping I'm not resorting to this.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't ever want to.
We have another enchantment here in our next uncommon. It's called Shiv's Embrace. 2 red for an enchantment aura. So this enchant creature gets +2/+2 and has flying.
That's awesome.
Which is sweet. But there's more even to that. It has fire breathing, so you pay 1 red, enchant creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. This is the kind of card I like. This is, you hold on to it, opponent taps out, you smash this down on whatever irrelevant creature was there. They thought they were protected with their defense. You fly over them with a huge 4/4. Oh man, put this on something bigger. Or if you're later in the game, you have more red open, it gets pumped. You can win out of nowhere with Shiv's Embrace.
Yeah, I mean, really, it is much. Once again, falls prey to anything, any type of enchantment. But this enchantment, I don't want to say it's necessarily better than Mark of the Vampire. In some ways,
I think they're equal, to be honest.
Yeah, they are. But like you said, this can run away with the game. Yeah. This can.
Oh yeah, this can win you on the spot.
Yep.
If this comes down on turn 6, now mind you, if it's or not turn 6, but with 6 mana or something,
oh yeah,
can get you that finishing points of damage through. They may not be tapping out then, so you have to be kind of careful on different mana bluffs that they might have with their last card. Wink. So you do have to play around that, but I think if you play smartly, this is the kind of aura that you'll get a huge swing in. That even if they do remove whatever you put it on,
I mean, we're seeing a theme with the auras in general. If you play smartly and you know which auras are good, you can clean house with them.
Well, I think that's always the case.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to have it be an impactful aura the turn you play it.
Yes.
That's why Mark and that's why this Shiv's Embrace are meaningful. The other enchantments don't do enough to make them meaningful.
Exactly.
They have to be around for a few turns to be great, the other auras, and it leaves it open too much to vulnerability.
Yep. Speaking of being vulnerable and just being super awesome, let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet card. We've got Shock. Shock's back. Yay!
Yay! I love Shock.
A red for 2 damage to target creature or player.
Boom.
Exactly. Instantly, it's common. We'll see it a fair amount of time. I mean, not splash because it's a little difficult.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're gonna play it because there's a lot of X2s. It kills a lot of things. A lot of
Shock.
things.
Let's talk about it. Would you splash it? It's splashable in that it's only 1 red, and it is a really good removal spell, but it's not super powerful.
No.
And if there's not a lot of fixing the format, which we haven't seen entirely all what it's going to be, but it may not be a strong fixing format, you may not want to do it for just 2 damage. But that being said, let's say you're already splashing red for something, right?
You add a Shock.
You'll have a Shock, so you're already going to be taking your mana base to that level, and Shock is good. I mean, I splashed Mugging in Return to Ravnica
block. Return to Ravnica block.
Yeah, and it was in Gate Crash. Yeah, I still splashed that. Mind you, it had a little bit different value. It was a sorcery, but then the creature couldn't block also, so it was just different versatility. But it definitely was a good enough card to care about.
I think Shock is sweet.
Yeah.
I like Shock a lot.
But not as awesome on the splash as, like, say, a Doomblade, because late game Shock isn't as awesome.
What also isn't awesome?
Yeah.
Smelt. Instant speed.
Single red also.
Yep.
Oh, is that as cool as Shock? Why is it not as awesome?
Oh, because all you do is destroy target artifact.
Yeah,
sideboard.
But that goes back to what we were saying earlier. There was that sorcery speed, destroy target artifact or land.
Yeah.
Where that was. The land we don't care about, I'd rather have Smelt in the sideboard than that, because this is instant, and we're caring much more about artifacts.
Yep.
So Shock, first pickable.
Shock, yes. Smelt, not so much.
Pick it up later on in the packs, and you'll get it when you need it. We have another 1 red. I keep saying that wrong. We have another single red casting cost spell. It is Striking Sliver. You probably guess in red what the Sliver does. Haste. So it's a 1/1 sliver creatures you can control.
That's completely wrong.
Oh my gosh, it's first strike.
Yes.
That absolutely astounds me. I'm so stoked for that. Yeah.
I'm kind of astounded that you were wrong, considering we're looking at the cards right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I didn't read it. I just thought I remembered it.
This is actually pretty sweet, because this also, unlike the other common slivers we've seen, the red deck doesn't want this one just by itself, because who cares about a 1/1 with first strike?
Well, that's actually what we saw in the red slivers. The red slivers are much better in the sliver deck than the red deck. Mm-hmm. So if I'm looking to go slivers, I'm looking to go red because I'm more likely to get those slivers.
That is very true. Yeah. But unlike the other two, the red deck by itself actively doesn't want this.
Yeah, what are you going to do with this? A 1/1 first striker? Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
But that's why, with white, which was the first deck.
Oh man, this is nutty in the sliver deck.
Oh yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Especially in red with the +2/+0 sliver.
Oh yeah.
What was the other sliver?
So this becomes like the equivalent, like a 3, the haste.
It was haste.
There is another one.
That's why I messed that up. Yeah. Okay, cool, sweet. That's why. But yeah, so this guy is great, and this really makes me like, if I'm going slivers, I'm going red.
Oh, and we've got another first strike type thing, except this is an instant. It's a common. It's a Thunder Strike. Already sounds awesome. The art looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like the person is smelting this. I'm sorry, that's silly. It's 1 in a red for an instant and common. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains first strike until end of turn. This is a really sweet. Out of all the other kind of combat tricks we've seen, this is one of my favorites so far.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it sweet, but yeah, I mean,
I'm saying combat tricks. I'm not necessarily saying removals.
In the umbrella of combat tricks, this is a good combat trick, mainly because that first strike with +2 really gets people.
Yeah.
you don't always want combat tricks.
No,
they tend to be those last cards you need.
23rd.
You know, around there, you really care about them in green more than anywhere else. But this, I'm definitely playing this as needed. I'd much rather have Red's removal suite than I would a Thunderstrike here. But Thunderstrike is going to be a combat trick that I play.
And Red's removal suite.
It's nice and cheap. It's instant. There you
guess
go.
What's coming up next?
Oh, gosh. Volcanic Geyser. Now, this is premier removal. Luckily, it's X red, so the red deck is going to get it. And it's an instant and uncommon. Volcanic Geyser deals X damage to target creature or player. Boom. It's a finisher. It takes out any creature. Yeah, it's a little expensive just to take out a creature if you need it to be, you know, in response to like an efficient 4/4 at 4. But that's not going to happen too often. It's just perfect versatility and perfect removal.
Exactly, and because it's, and like you said, because it's red, the red draft again.
Yeah, so it's great. You want as many of these as possible. It is a high casting cost version of removal, but man, Red's removal suite is so good. We saw that, Flames of Firebrand, Shock, and Chandra's Outrage. Those are 4 top tier removal spells.
All common and uncommon. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Which makes sense for Red.
Yeah. What we've got now is a wild guess. I wonder what it's gonna do.
I do like the art on Wild Guess.
It is pretty cool. It's a common sorcery for red. But as an additional cost to cast Wild Guess, you discard a card.
Okay.
I like that you discard first. Draw 2 cards. So it's a rummager.
It's a rummager. It's Red's Divination.
Reds. I said green though. It's Red's Divination. You discard it. It costs 1 less. It is the double color, but you have to discard a card. You rummage.
Yep. I think you're going to be playing this in Red. It's what Red wants, and it allows you to get a little bit of card advantage. It may not be in every deck. Again, I'd much rather have way more Volcanic Geysers and way more Shocks, but wouldn't we all?
I mean, the red decks are going to need this too. You filter out your lands. You know, sometimes you just draw your 6th land in your red deck, and you don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So you're playing it, but you're going to get it. You don't need to pick this highly. It's going to come around you. It's common. It's double red. The 1 or 2 you're playing in your deck, you will have.
Yeah.
I'm way more excited for Young Pyromancer. It's a 1 red, 2/1 human shaman creature. It is uncommon. You're not going to see a lot of these Young Pyromancers, but already 2/1 for 2. It's very playable. But then it has a pretty cool upside in that color, which says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a 1/1 red elemental creature token onto the battlefield.
That's awesome.
Now, what's cool about this as a 2/1 for 2 is you don't need to prioritize getting instants and sorceries online.
You just get it. You're going to play it regardless because it's a 2-drop.
Yep. Cool. So let's wrap up the uncommon commons and see what we're thinking for the draft set.
Yeah.
I really like Red.
Red is really sweet.
Of course, you have the premium removal, but all of them are premium, which is what's kind of important to note. You always get good removal in Red and in Black, but if you look at it, these are all top-notch premiums.
Yeah, exactly.
Black had good ones and premium with Doomblade, but these are insane.
Yeah.
Also, I'm looking at the creature curves, and I really like the creature curves here. The 2-drop slot isn't amazing because the 2-drops are uncommon that are great, like the Young Pyromancer, and what was the other 2-drop? There was another one that we had. Oh, the Goblin Shortcutter. That's common, but still really good. You're just not going to see as many 2-drops. But then the rest of them get really sweet with the 3s and the 4s in there are high quality, which means when I'm looking at my curve, I'm really excited to have a great creature curve at 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah.
And great removal.
Yep.
This I actually think I like better than Black.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What do you think?
I mean, the reason I like Black because I like Black.
Yeah.
No, I really like Red, and I totally do agree with you. The kind of curve that you'll be able to get in Red is super sweet, and the direct damage, the removal that you can get is awesome because it is going to be double. It's going to be able to double as your your reach.
Yeah. Exactly.
And it's Red is just solid, and so far, thus what we've done without even getting to the rares and mythics in Red, I'm really liking Black Red. I see it as even potentially being aggressive. Like super aggressive, it would have some of that reach late game.
I do like that Black has an aggression in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, I want to play that Black blue aggression.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty cool too. I think. See, what I like so far is I like Black Red in terms of. I mean, it's Black Red. It's going to be a little bit more aggressive. I like Black Red has the slightly better removal potential to be a little bit more aggressive, but what Black Blue is going to have is way more tempo plays and be able to even out-tempo that, the red deck.
Black-red, definitely the strongest combination now, just because they have just such a solid 2, 3, 4 creature slot, plus they're the colors of removal.
Yeah.
So we're looking really good on that power level for limited.
I have a feeling this is the kind of color combination that's going to be.
Yeah. The big issue is what's going to be drafted, what's going to be overdrafted.
Yeah.
And that's going to be.
We're already getting to the point in the review where we can kind of see some of these archetypes developing. We can kind of make those decisions. But for now,
let's go to the fun stuff.
Yeah, exactly. This concludes our commons and uncommons of red. We will see you very, very shortly in Rares and Mythics of Red. 3, 2, 1.
Here we are with the rares and mythic rares of red. Our first one is Awaken the Ancient, a 1 red. So 4 mana converted casting cost, 3 red for enchantment aura. Right, this better be sweet, right?
Yeah.
It says Enchant Mountain. Enchanted Mountain is a 7/7 red giant creature with haste. It's still a land. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to first pick it because it's probably going to be just a finisher. Do you know what I mean? And it commits you so much to red. Like, you have to be such a heavy red deck to get that triple red on.
Then again, you have a turn 5 7/7 with haste.
No, I mean, that is such a great upside if you can get to that.
Yeah.
And it's super powerful. So I am down. And in this case, it's not a blatant 2-for-1 because so much removal is destroy target creature that gets the enchantment to come off.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to get rid of this mountain, so it's going to be way more resilient.
Yeah, that's true.
My thing is just because it's hard to cast and it commits you to red so much, I might just pick a strong pacifism or something early instead of
over this
Awaken the Ancient. But I'm not too sure. I mean, it's going to be a really powerful card.
Huh.
Definitely a card I'm happy to have in my red deck.
I mean, then again, it is, regardless, even if it comes down like turn 6, it's still a 7/7.
Well, exactly, as with haste. Like, I mean, if for some reason you had to play that mountain that turn to get it going, like, fine. But haste is almost irrelevant.
Yeah,
you know?
It's just awesome.
Oh, but no, it's turn 4 then. That's what I was thinking. You play your 3rd mount on turn 4.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because you have to tap it to cast it.
Yeah.
Never mind. Anyway,
that's
still really cool.
5.
Really cool.
Yep.
Still really good.
Yep. What isn't so cool is Burning Earth.
What's Burning Earth?
It's 3 in a red. It's a rare enchantment. Whenever a player taps a non-basic land for mana, Burning Earth deals 1 damage to that player. It's not going to do anything in limited.
There's going to be very little non-basic lands that are carrying.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe in Constructed, but...
Ooh, I get another sweet one. Chandra Pyromaster.
New Chandra!
This is the new Chandra. It was designed to be Constructed playable. It's a Planeswalker, so it's going to be limited awesome, and if it's good and Constructed, it's going to be awesome in limited.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chandra is now 2 red with 4 loyalty entering the battlefield. Her +1 is Chandra Pyromaster. Deals 1 damage to target player and 1 damage to up to 1 target creature that player controls. That creature can't block this turn. Holy heck, what else do you want from a +1 ability? Ping her to the face, kill a creature, make that creature can't block, you bash in, awesome. Other ability is a 0 ability. Exile the top card of your library. You may play it this turn. So it's basically like an extra card. You start doing that, you're able to have an extra card to play.
Well, I mean, it's not just an extra card. You get to play 2 lands. If it's a land, if it's a creature, you can play that creature.
I mean, you don't get
no.
You still have to cast it, so
it's
not just an automatic. You can't play the second land, but you still get that option to have it there.
Yeah, that's true.
The only thing is, you might exile something that you can't play that turn, and then it's gone because it's only that turn you can play that exiled card. But in red, you tend not to care, and on top of it, it's just that extra card ability. You get an extra draw.
That's true.
I mean, when you get to draw a card for free in red, there you go. And then, of course, a really sweet ultimate. You -7 Chandra to exile the top 10 cards of your library. Choose an instant or sorcery card exiled this way and copy it 3 times. You may cast the copies without paying that mana cost. So, probably not going to get to this in limited. I may not even care, but I mean, if you're red, you have an instant sorcery that's going to be relevant, and you're going to copy it 3 times. But, I mean, I'm sticking to the +1 and 0.
Love X. How awesome is that?
That'd be cool. But yeah, Slam Dunk Chandra Pyromaster, first pickable.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
There you go.
Yeah. What we have next is also named Chandra in some ways. Yep. It's Chandra's Phoenix. We may know this from previous.
We've seen this before, yeah.
1 red. It's a 2/2 with flyer. It's got haste, so that's already pretty sweet. 2/2 with haste for 3. But it's also whenever an instant Whenever an opponent is dealt damage by a red instant or sorcery spell you control, or by a red planeswalker you control, return it to your hand from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
So, much like a phoenix, it rises from the dead.
How highly do you pick this, though? It's a great 2/2 flying haste. Can't argue with that. With some upside, though in limited, you're not guaranteed a bunch of instants or sorceries. Obviously, with Chandra, it gets insane. They combo so well. But, you may not get a bunch of instants or sorceries that you want in red.
I mean, but in red, it's a flyer. The only other flyers we saw was the dragon's egg that turns into a flyer, and then the crappy dragon. So, it's a 2/2 flyer in red. It's going to be
definitely good. But are you picking this over Chandra's Outrage, the removal spell?
No.
Okay.
That I won't do it over. But, a decent removal spell, so this gets picked over this, but this is over most any other creature.
In a weak pack, I'm first picking this. It is a very strong, efficient creature. And mostly I'm hoping to get this passed to me in pack 3 when I saw that red was open and someone to the right of me or 2 people to the right of me opened it and can't play it because they're not in red.
Exactly.
Because you're not picking this if you're not in red already.
Yep.
So that's my hope with Chandra's Phoenix. Our next card is Goblin Diplomats, 1 in a red for a 2/1 goblin creature. It's rare. So very playable as a 2/1 for 2. And then what else is it? Tap. Each creature attacks this turn if able. So that's kind of fun. And then the art is really good flavor for Goblin Diplomats. You gotta check that out.
Yeah.
And I like this. It allows you to do some funky combat stuff and make someone on a board stay attacking you and do some bad trades. Or, most importantly in a red deck, it allows your opponent to completely get defenses down. However, don't overvalue it.
Yeah.
Because it has to be before combat, so they attack in, maybe you take a whole bunch of damage, and then they play another big dude to block something of your little, of your 2s and 3 drops. It's there's ways to get around Goblin Diplomats. It's a cool ability, but it's not a high pick to where you're like, oh my gosh, I opened Goblin Diplomats, I have to slam this right now.
No, definitely not. And even I can see it being passed. It's okay. It's meh.
Yeah, it's just a really good 2-drop with upside.
Yep, exactly. What's kind of cool is this 1 red elemental creature. It's a 3/2, so it's already sweet for 3. 3/2 for 3, but it also has first strike.
Oh, yummy.
Yay.
Yes.
What else does it have? I'm thinking downside, but it's actually not.
Yeah.
Whenever an opponent casts a white or blue instant or sorcery spell, Mindsparker deals 2 damage to that player. That's really sweet. Yeah. The only downside is that it's double red.
Yeah. But even then, who cares? I want to be in red anyway.
Exactly.
I love red so far with the commons and uncommons. 3/2 first strike, yes. And this is
even regardless of its additional ability, that's just 100% upside.
Here you have this guy being on par with the white rare that has the enemy combat relevance, where it's really great on its own, and it happens to have upside against its enemy colors. Whereas the blue and black one wasn't really awesome. Definitely black one I thought was completely unplayable. It was like, what, a 1/3 for something?
It was a 3/1. 3/1 Intimidate.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, no, it was playable. Yeah, but it just wasn't as insane as this. This is, you can see, just so much better. 3/2 first strike, yes. Our next rare is Ogre Battle Driver.
Oh my gosh.
2 red for a 3/3. So actually a little overcost, just in that we have, we're used to 3 in a red for a 3/3, but we're definitely okay to play this.
Not necessarily overcosted, but costed is such that it's difficult to cast.
Especially at rare, we're wanting more. So let's hope there's more on this card. It says, whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, that creature gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn.
That's nuts.
That's so cool. Haste alone added to a lot of different creatures is going to be very powerful, especially because this is a 4-drop.
Yeah.
That means there are relevant creatures coming after this card.
Yeah.
A lot of times you see those sort of anthem haste effects that are, on a 6 or 7 drop, or a 5 or 6 drop creature, and then you're like, well, I've already played everything. This will still get there. And the fact that it pumps in on top of that makes even your late 2/2s into 4/2 with haste.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's a really good card.
I could honestly, even the way your deck ends up shaping out, if you're like, man, my creature's kind of getting outclassed, you play this, and then you're like, oh man, I got these 3 2-drops.
Yeah.
Swing.
Yeah, you just wait and you do all 3 2-drops on a 6 mana. Oof.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like Battle Driver. Don't know if I would first pick it over a couple other premium red cards.
I don't know. This one's first
again, remember, what makes this guy good is it needs other cards. So would you take this over Serra Angel?
See, the thing is, yes. In certain ways, what the downfall of some of the other cards that makes them good is that they do need other cards. This needs other creature cards, which you're playing anyway.
Yeah. But still, I mean, let's say you do draw this a little bit later in the game, and you have played your creatures out. You know, then it's just a 3/3 for 4. Not horrible, certainly relevant, but not the power level of a first pick. Whereas, you know, you're getting your Sarah Angel 4/4 flying vigilance, good no matter what.
Yeah, you know, that's true.
So, I mean, I think I'd have to think hard about if I wanted the Battle Driver over a Sarah Angel pack 1, pick 1.
Fair enough. Our next card, Scourge of Valkus.
Ooh, I like the color on its rarity symbol.
Red. Yes, that is a 5-drop, so it's 2 and triple red. It's a mythic. It's a dragon. It looks more like a demon than a dragon. It's a 4/4 for 5, which is already 4/4 flying for 5, which is already pretty sweet.
Yep.
But whenever Scourge of Valkus or another dragon enters the battlefield under your control, it deals X damage to target creature or player, where X is the number of dragons you control.
Okay.
So no matter what, when it enters the battlefield, it's a 4/4 flyer for 5 that deals 1 damage to under your control, deals 1 damage to target creature or player. If you have more dragons, it gets a little bit better.
We didn't see sweet dragons in common or uncommon. There was the egg and the 2-drop, but it wasn't anything special.
But also has fire breathing.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, you're getting a dragon 4/4 flying, great. And then with fire breathing, it just destroys the game later.
Yep.
There's another dragon right after it, the Shivan Dragon, an absolute classic of Magic the Gathering. That's a 4 red for a 5/5 flyer dragon, and then also has fire breathing.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would prefer the Shivan Dragon over the Mythic Dragon. It's just more solid, easier to cast, more the relevant abilities there versus the little incidental enters the battlefield damage points.
Yeah, most definitely.
But man, Shivan Dragon, first pickable slam, done.
And our rare red sliver. Thorncaster Sliver. It's 4 and a red. It's surprisingly enough a sliver.
Yeah.
It is a 2/2.
What? For 5 at rare?
That's weird. But whenever sliver creatures you control have whenever this creature attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player.
Dang.
That's pretty
so
sweet.
Good in a sliver deck. And remember, red I was talking about seems to be the first sliver color I really want.
Yeah.
Because you're probably going to get your slivers on much more likely than in the the white.
Oh, I'm going to get my slivers on.
Get my sliver on. And this guy, yeah, this is just insane. Being able to thorn
cast
creatures and players with your sliver is going to be sweet.
Just by virtue of them attacking.
Yeah, if you have 2 out, this card's insane. You get 3 or 4 slivers going in a dedicated sliver deck, oh my gosh, you win in an instant.
Oh yeah, because you attack and you just boom, boom.
Take out any creature
shoot their things.
Or just do it to their face and kill them.
Yeah.
Our last red rare is Wild Ricochet. It's a instant that costs 2 red. It says you may choose new targets for target instant or sorcery spell, then copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. I don't see this being super relevant. Super cool flavor, really fun art, kind of goofy, but I think it's going to be a little unreliable.
Yeah.
You might sideboard it in against an opponent with a lot of instant or sorcery spells, but I don't think you're going to be reliably doing this again with your own instants or sorceries.
No, I bet this is not particularly.
So exciting. This is pick up late if it's the last red card in the pack and you're already red.
Yep, and maybe even still not play it.
Yeah, and even then it might not make the cut.
Exactly.
Cool. So yeah, I'm really stoked on red. That was fun on the rares and mythic rares. We'll catch you on our last color, green, for our set review. Again, my name's Ryan.
And I'm Mike.
We are Mana Bluff. Check us out, www.manabluff.com.
We'll be seeing you shortly with green commons and uncommons.